So, this video is slightly different for a couple reasons. One, I'm using this microphone, not that microphone. Mainly because my computer, for some reason, a lot of my files got corrupted. So like my intro, my outro, my some of my stuff, the graphics I use, the subscribe, all of those things got corrupted. So I reset my computer. Still giving me some issues, so I'm in the process of recreating a lot of those, re-downloading stuff. But I figured I had a wonderful idea, since I have a PC and I can still record stuff, and that hasn't stopped me. This video is not going to be super long, but I did have someone request a video, and I haven't ever had that before. So as you can see, this was my first perfect CGC 10. Spoiler alert, you guys should check it out. It got 100 views, which was freaking awesome. But someone says, thought you were going to tell me 10 out of 10 trading card games, like Yu-Gi-Oh is a 7, Magic is an 8. And I was like, really? Whatever. Long story short, they suggested that I rate some card games, so I figured, why not? That was about a month ago, so better late than never. ₛᵤbₛcᵣᵢbₑ, this video is for you.
With honeys, all I do is shine. Told the world, ain't it funny? I'm one of a kind.
Subscribe.
All right, this is not going to be super long. I just looked up a tier list, and there is literally Bakugan, Chaotic, Dragon Ball Z, Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Vanguard, and Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'll go off number 1, Bakugan. If I'm not mistaken, I think I can sing the whole theme song. Let me think. Let me hear the start of it. Something back against the wall. Gotta give it your all. This is your final stand. The world is in your hand. Two worlds collide on the inside. Gotta fight for what's right, for it's gone, gone, gone. This is Bakugan. Honestly, I don't know if the card game still exists. It does. I see it at Walmart. I never figured out exactly how to play it. I did have my fair share of Bakugan, I'll admit it. When I was like, I don't know, 10 or something, I did steal Drago from Walmart. I admit it. You caught me. But the cards itself, because they were made out of metal, made it very hard to collect. If you wanted to grade, which at the time I didn't care, the overall like mechanic I felt like could have been better. So don't sue me. I'm gonna make it like a B tier. If I could make it like a B plus, I would. And then we have Chaotic. Now I'm gonna just put this as S tier, and I'll go into my explanation. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Chaotic, and I really can't show much on here. Actually, I might just go to Google to make it easier. Okay, I'm googling Google Chaotic TCG. This show was freaking phenomenal. It came on 4Kids TV. Is there a 2013? Like, are we keeping up with this? Is Chaotic coming back? Whoa. So this show was super sick. Actually, it was crazy because not too long I was talking about it. It gives what seems to be like really typical card game vibes, which obviously it's a card game. But the show itself, I actually don't have any idea on how to play the game. But this show carried so hard as a kid. The main character, like, this was his character, and he was just goated. You would go into the world, you would use the card, become the character, fight. It was so sick. That I could go on. Not really, I don't really know much to go on, but that is automatic and S tier. I don't even know how the card game itself works, but S tier. Dragon Ball Super, the card game. Big fan of Dragon Ball. Trunks is my favorite. Don't attack me. It doesn't sit right with me that this Trunks and this current time and Gohan don't really know each other very well. But as far as the card game is played, I have a couple of the cards on the collector's type side. I don't actually know how to play the game, but I feel like from the hype it has, I believe it has a mobile version as well. I know a couple of my friends play it. I'll make it a solid A tier. Hearthstone is super iconic. A lot of people have played Hearthstone. I've played Hearthstone. I would compare it very heavily to Magic the Gathering. As far as like the way the game is played, you don't necessarily need to use like mana cards, if I'm not mistaken, but every turn you get a mana or a whatever the thing is. Overall, like, I really enjoyed the concept of this game. I'd probably put it up here as an S tier, just because it's really solid. You gonna come hang out with me, bud? Why would you gonna stop him? Hey bud, my cat's not feeling too well, so if you guys would just leave a comment. He's upset in his tummy. He's smelling around. Hey bud, come say hi. You want to come rate some cards with dad? Yeah. All right. Cool. So we got Magic the Gathering. Dude, honestly, that's a cool classic. That's automatically gonna be an S tier. Pretty much one of the most serious card games that I got into was Magic the Gathering. To this day, I have my burn mono red deck, so please don't shoot me, but it is just a easy free win by like round 5 or 6. But I did like having control decks. Gives you a lot of versatilities like any card game, but I like the characters, the concepts. Magic the Gathering is just, it took me 4 hours at like 2 o'clock in the morning with my aunt to learn to play this game. When I first got the game, I built a all colored deck, rainbow scheme, because I had one Chimera card, I think, that required like 2 something, and its ability gave you, I can't even remember, but it was super sick, and I was like, yeah. And then I realized that's not how you play. I never got to play the card, so I started playing like dual colors or like mono decks at best, and I kind of just ran the scene back at the Boys and Girls Club. So Pokemon, super fan favorite. I'm trying not to be biased because I collect a lot of their cards, but as far as the playing game, I know you have your bench, I know you have your starting, I know you have your counters, your energies, and all that. The game for me just doesn't really do it. I am gonna put it as an A tier because that is just, I mean, it's like what my whole channel is based off of, so if I put it any lower, I'd feel like that's just not fair. But the actual playing of the game, I don't do too well. But there's a lot of tournaments for it. A lot of my friends play it. I keep saying a lot. The only people that play the card games are the same people who play all the other games. They just play a lot of card games. And Vanguard, I felt like had its chance. It fell off. I remember my boy got me a structure deck. We played it for a bunch at the Boys and Girls Club, but I don't feel like I hear much from it now. So really long story short, that's an S tier. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Cult classic, absolute favorite. Used to run Magicians, Spellcaster decks. Played a lot of Duel Links, ran a lot of the Berry Girls. Man, that game is just, it's nostalgic. The anime doesn't miss. The cards do not miss. Now all the new stuff, I don't really know all too well, but I know that the game is still super popular. A lot of the cards that are coming out is, they had a set that came out a while back now, but they had like redid like Dark Magician Girl, Blue Eyes, a lot of ghost rare cards. So I used to collect a lot, and I used to actually play this game more than any other card game. So for me, it's like my #1 card game. There was this one time where I used to keep my cards at the Boys and Girls Club. Someone stole all my synchros and XZs, so I was a little upset about that. And as a kid, you don't have money to make that back, so I kind of like, that was my turning point to kind of giving up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because I couldn't keep up with it, and that was literally 2012. So a lot has changed since then. Got into Duel Links. I should get into Duel Masters, but the thought of me trying to figure out the game again, construct a new deck, and do all that, way too complicated. But that pretty much sums up. I know there's some other cards that just weren't on here, like ₛᵤbₛcᵣᵢbₑ. I would probably put that as an A or an S, just because you get to use a lot of different fandoms for the exact same game. So I think it had a very similar structure to Vanguard. I think I never actually played it, but I'd probably put that as an A tier. And I can't really think of any other games. This game right here though, S tier, y'all. Hands down the best card game in all existence. You can't change my mind, and you will not change my mind. But that pretty much just sums up my tier list. If you guys did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment below your opinions on any of the card games if you play card games, and hope my boy feels better. He's just not having it. You okay, bud? Thank you.